Hello, today we're going to be checking out Too Cool for Skool, the debut single album by BTS. Now, this is my first time reacting on this channel to BTS as a group. I've reacted to some of the solo projects, but I know that they're coming out with a new album in like 3 weeks, and I kind of wanted to build my own anticipation for it by revisiting and reacting to all of their albums in the next 3 weeks. Now, where my knowledge of BTS comes is I've been here. I remember like the golden era of like 2016, 2017 to 2019, 2020. I was there during the 24 hours of Fake Love, DNA, Boy with Love, Dynamite, like all of it. I remember being so infatuated by them. I actually did check out their older albums, but I haven't done so in a long time. I barely remember them. So I thought, why not do it right now? I will spend about 10 minutes of each of these videos going over a little bit of context about the album, who produced it, some fun facts, just to contextualize each of these projects, because I do believe that the history actually makes the album better. So I have put the timestamps in the bottom so you can skip this part if you don't want to, but it might also be a good refresher for all of us who are going through it. Now, the first exercise that I wanted to do was to put a timer and for 5 minutes and just write what I know off the top of my head about BTS. It doesn't have to be right. It's just like what I know. I've never been like a full-on fan. I just like assumptions that I make. Before I start, there is a few rules that I've set to myself and that I want you guys to listen to when you're watching these videos as well. I don't know everything, and I am inevitably gonna get something wrong. And instead of being like, oh my god, how does he not know it? Just breathe. Let's take it slow and acknowledge that I'm a human being who doesn't know everything. I think what I've seen over the last 5 or so years is that people have claimed this violence almost when it comes to like fan wars and this like almost hatred for artists, and I just don't care. I want to listen to good music. I am drawn to groups. My favorite group is Idol. I'm drawn to groups who make their own music, have a rich history of struggle, and I think I know from what I know that BTS has had that journey. They're not struggling as much anymore when it comes to, you know, money, influence, things like that. They've achieved those things. I'm sure they struggle in other ways that the new album will explore, but I love that context. And that's what I'm going to go into this. If you're a hater of BTS, just get out. If you're someone who has felt overwhelmed over the last few years or months, just like the digital footprint that fandoms have on groups is just like not something that I want to engage in. So I want to foster a kind community, somewhere where we can just enjoy the music together and have fun. That's like my goal. I want to build more anticipation and excitement for this album that's coming out in a few weeks. So this is what I am choosing to do for myself, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. Without further ado, let's start the timer. Okay, so I don't even know what BTS stands for. I feel like there's something called Bangtan. And if you notice, if you care about fonts, I actually picked the Batang font. That was the closest I could get just in terms of symbolism. The thing is, there's 7 members. RM, J-Hope, Suga, Jin, Jimin, Jungkook, and my fave, Taehyung, or V. Oh, y'all, he is the dream. They're all the dream, but this is phenomenal. I know that they debuted in 2013. I know they are the best-selling K-pop group. I am going to make the assumption that they're probably in the top 3 best-selling groups of all time. Wait, I can't do that because of the Beatles and everything. They have gotten like 6 number ones in one calendar year. It was like 2020 to 2021. And don't tell me which, I know it's Dynamite, Butter, Permission to Dance, My Universe, Savage Love, And I forget if there's another one. I think there's 6. They produce and write most of their own music. They're from Big Hit Entertainment, now known as Hybe, right? Or Hybe is a bigger entity. Was a small company. Y'all, they was not part of the big 4. And a misconception that I see now for people who are newer to K-pop is that BTS didn't come from wealth and power and influence. Like, they built that empire that they have now. I think that's something. I know Spring Day, I think, is my favorite BTS song of all time. It makes me cry. It makes me so sad. I know they have all debuted solo music. Oh my god, why do I feel like I'm being quizzed? Oh, well, Dynamite was the first K-pop song to reach #1 on the Billboard. They're the most streamed K-pop group. Probably the best-selling K-pop group, of course. They're the best-selling K-pop group. I've already said that. They were the first nominated Grammy K-pop artist. I believe they have been nominated 3 times. Once for Dynamite, once for Butter, and one for My Universe with Coldplay. They have not yet won, and I'm emphasizing yet, because I hope one day they can be recognized for the work that they have done. They have... Oh, Suga... I don't know if it's Suga or Suga. You might help me on this. He has August D, which I love. It's a persona. I think it's a solo persona. We have RM is Namjoon. Jin. There is something with a fish. Something with a fish. That's what I vaguely remember. V is a fan of Lady Gaga and jazz. See, like, the things that I know about... Oh! Most viewed YouTube video in the first 24 hours. I believe this is Butter. And it's like around 106, 111 million, which is absolutely incredible. I was there. Maybe this is a hot topic. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I like Dynamite. I liked Butter. Permission to Dance, it's not my cup of tea, but Butter is so smooth. It's so fun. Oh, they have collaborated with so many artists. Halsey, Megan Thee Stallion. I think you spelled that with a Megan Thee Stallion. Oh god, I'm running out of time. They are the most awarded K-pop group in terms of music wins and daesangs, I think you say it. Like 120 plus. The time's over. We lost it. But that gives you hopefully an idea of the kind of knowledge that I bring to the table here. I feel like this is like 20%, maybe 10%. I'm going to be honest, 5%. I know that they were in the military. I know that they got out. They're finally reunited. I know that their last album, the anthology album Proof, came out. I did listen to it, so I'm like kind of familiar. But let's get into it. So something that I wanted to start doing with these artists that I check out like their entire discography is to dig a little bit deeper into the albums. It might also be a good opportunity for someone to like remember some of the facts. So I did my homework. There might be facts in this short presentation that are not true, okay? I spent the last hour or so looking into this, so it might be incorrect. But I hope it paints a little bit of a picture of what the album is and helps me figure out where we are in terms of, but goddamn, they look young. If I remember correctly, Jungkook is the youngest, and he's like 14 or 15 here. And he's right in the middle. He looks emo. Oh my god. So we have the track list. I did also check out who produced or wrote the album. So you'll see over here on the right are some emojis. It's the animals of each of the members of who wrote and produced the songs. I thought that was important for me to just know the involvement of the members. It seems that RM, Suga, and J-Hope produced almost all of the like real songs. I know there are some skits and some intros that they were not at least credited on, but all of the other songs they all sort of participated in. I did also find two unreleased songs that were part of the physical version of the album, which is the skit on the start line and Path. You see what I did? I'm actually doing my homework. So a little bit of album facts that I found out. This is their debut single album. It was released on June 12th, 2013. It is the starting point of the trilogy, of the Skool trilogy, and I believe that BTS follows like multiple trilogies. There's, well, I don't know if it's a trilogy, but Map of the Soul, Love Yourself. These are like multi-album projects that they explore similar themes of. So this is the first theme. It is described as gritty, hip-hop focused, which is not my cup of tea. I'm usually a pop girly, but again, now I'm prepared. And I did see a fun fact that apparently Jin's pants fell down due to the intense choreography during their debut stage. I did watch the video unmuted so I wouldn't get spoiled of the song. Y'all, this is so dramatic. Sure, his pants fell down a little bit, but all I could see was a phenomenal dancer. So I don't know. You know, you can look at it for yourself, but I thought it was a good choreography. Something that I also pulled up, because I think this is like where we kind of lose the reality of things. So I did pull up the sales of this album. Because BTS, I said it, right, when I was writing about it, like, this is the best-selling K-pop group of all time. But they debuted with 34 copies of this album on the first day in Korea. On the first week, it was 772, not 1,000, just 772 physical albums sold. In a month, it was about 5,000, and the total sales is now almost at 600,000. To me, this is what I love. I love a story. I love the struggling to make it. Idol is another group where you saw it. I think they sold like 12 or something physical sales in the first day. Like, slowly they're able to build this fandom and this influence and this power that they've been able to build over the last 13 years. But you can kind of see that they did not have it to begin with. Any group coming from the big four in Korea is bound to sell. Almost. I think JYP is still struggling a little bit, and I'm not trying to send hater at all, but, you know, it just takes longer, I think, for JYP groups to make that physical sale. But YG, SM, and HYBE, they're bound to sell hundreds of thousands. BTS didn't, which makes me so excited to listen to like the yearning that they have. I remember it. I remember the yearning when I listen to these albums. The songs that I have heard, and this is the last thing before we're gonna check out the album, I feel like I know No More Dream. And y'all, don't hate me. Is it the song that goes like, I remember something like that. Is that the song? I put an asterisk because y'all, I have no idea. So I'm excited. Let's go check out this album. First song is the intro, Too Cool for School. And I remember when I checked these out like 6 years ago, like once, there are a lot of skits and outros and interludes. So, you know, I don't know how many songs there are, but y'all, we're doing it. I'm so excited.
To some steps which are a bit more difficult. Ready, set, and begin.
He sounds the same. Kind of. And Bangtan, please correct my pronunciation if it's wrong, means bulletproof, right? Oh, wait! Bangtan Sonyeondan is BTS. But right? Right? That, yes. Okay, that already makes sense because I didn't pick that up 6 years ago. I'm quite sure. Bulletproof Boy Scouts is essentially the message of what the meaning of BTS means. And I think there is a song called We Are Bulletproofs Part 2, which I'm going to talk about because why the hell is it called Part 2? Oh my god, his voice. Oh, the distortion. And it kind of brings me back to, I remember this album, right? And too Cool for School, right? Are those delinquent teens, right? Who might not be the ideal norm of a student. And you know, I think that's some of the topics that they talk about in these trilogies. And I remember these conversations happening in like 2016, 2017, that BTS was not the conventionally attractive K-pop idols that people were looking for. Keep in mind, this is not my opinion, right? This was people were saying. And I think similarly, I know that with the rap slash hip hop unit of BTS or RM, J-Hope, and Suga, they did not have it easy when it came to like fitting into the K-pop image at the time. So I think the topic and theme of like being too cool for school, like not fitting in and defying those norms and conventionalities is interesting. It's an intro. I don't think I'm going to add it to my playlist, right? It sounds dope. It sounds hip-hoppy. But right, and again, they didn't say anything except they introduced BTS. But I'm excited. It also reminds me, I know the units, y'all. I know that we have the hip hop rap heavy, even though all of them can sing, all of them can really rap. But V, Jimin, Jin, and Jungkook are like more on the vocal sides. I know also J-Hope is the dancer. Actually, Jimin is also a dancer. Jungkook. I don't like to classify people in positions because like it limits their potentiality. Like I've seen some of J-Hope's solo stuff. He can sing. He's not just a rapper or a dancer. So we're gonna go away from those positions, but let's just check out the next song, shall we? Next song is We Are Bulletproof, Part 2. Now when I saw the track list, I was like, why is it Part 2? And I had to look it up because I'm like, did I miss something? Is this not their debut song? Supposedly, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a studio demo version that J-Hope, Suga, and RM did together that was different than this version. And when they polished and reformatted this version to fit all of the members, they made it a part 2. And I assume it's maybe to honor the original version. I don't know if the original version came out. I have not heard it. But that's, I think, why it's part 2. I got scared that I missed something. And I remember this intro on all of their songs up until the rebranding. Because I don't think it's that anymore. Oh my god, y'all. They're so tiny. Oh my god, it like takes me back to... They don't even have English subtitles. That's how old it is. I want the lyrics, y'all. The auto translation, we'll see how it is. And RM, that hair.
We are bulletproof. We are bulletproof. Bulletproof. 이름은 정국. Skit은 정국. 학교 대신 연습실에서 밤새 춤을 추고 노래 불러내. 너희가 놀 때.
Yo, what the hell? We're already splashing our bodies and we're underage, girl. I'm not gonna participate in that watching. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics on the side because the lyrics to me is important, especially when it comes to BTS.
이름은 정국. Skit은 정국. 학교 대신 연습실에서 밤새 춤을 추고 노래 불러내. 너희가 놀 때.
Girl. Okay, so Jungkook said, the name is Jungkook, the nationwide scale. I pulled all-nighters at practice rooms instead of school, dancing and singing, right? So instead of putting my focus into studying and maybe being a good student, I spend all of the time perfecting my arts. And we know that in certain cultures, the arts are not as valued as the STEM or as, like, I guess, studying. While you guys partied, I gave up sleep for my dreams, right? So even though delinquent students are known to be maybe more slack offish, he's kind of saying that I didn't slack off. I was just working hard on achieving goals that were different than, you know, other people. And you can just hear how much they wanted this. Like, do you know what I feel? And Suga is for some reason, and I can't pinpoint why, I remember listening to August D, and he has some pretty heavy songs, some pretty damn sad songs. And the rapping that he does in some of his songs are very similar to the flow that he has here, and I like it. So he said, I stay up all night every day holding my pen. After the sun rises, I close my eyes. So essentially, he stayed up all night, similar to Jungkook, right? Working his R's off to, I guess, write or learn more. The double standard and all the opposition, amid all of that, I broke the limit of myself. Meanwhile, some are lucky picked up by an agency and being forced to rap as they can't sing. Such a waste to call you a rapper? Honestly, I know this, and correct me if I'm wrong again, but I believe that all the 7 members of BTS were handpicked. So they weren't necessarily... I think some of them were recruited, but like they were handpicked for their specific things. What he's saying about, you know, people who end up rapping in a lot of K-pop groups are because they're not necessarily able to sing. So what do? Well, you just speak really fast because you don't really have to have a good tone for that. And he is kind of calling you... I'm going to go as far as saying he's calling them pathetic, which... Yes, I have been watching some survival shows where people be classified as a rapper, and they're like, why am I a rapper? And they're like, oh, because you can't sing. And I'm like, well, but a rapper isn't just someone that raps fast. You have to write, you have to have the experience, you have to bring that personification into the music that I think all the rappers in BTS do extremely well. I love his voice. And his voice gets even better. Huh? Oh. I remember this song. I remember. It's not the song I thought it was, but I remember this song. And I will say this, people nowadays, a lot of the haters are saying that these men have changed a lot, like visually. To me, they look very similar. Sure, they might have gotten some changes here and there, but they still look very much recognizable to me. V says, everywhere I go, everything I do, I'll show you as much as I've honed. All the people who look down on me are now, hey, shout it out. So, I mean, they're all kind of saying the same thing. And then Jimin comes in.
We are bulletproof. We are bulletproof.
So it's we are bulletproof, kind of like the saying of resilience, or like we are going to be thrown all of these assumptions or hate or whatever they're receiving at the time against us, but we're gonna reflect it and take it even further. Nothing. Oh god. Okay, so J-Hope and RM came in, and this also reminded me that JRM stands for Rap Monster, but isn't there also something in the lines of Real Me? Or maybe I'm thinking about NF, but I feel like there was a time where Namjoon talked about there's like multiple different versions, and the reason he was. Am I misremembering something? There's so many details about this. So J-Hope said, "Look at my profile. I've got nothing yet. So I come from nothing. Like I don't have anything to show for me yet. I'm still a trainee and a rapper. Yeah, I do know that's nothing. I was worried once, but now no need to. You're still amateurs. I'm a major. Hope you'll be rotten like that forever." Who are we talking about? Are we talking about like some of the industry folks who maybe doubted these members? I don't know if any of the members were like in other agencies or like their history of it, but like these guys seem angry. What are we angry about? RM comes in, like Rat Monster says, just like a monster, I devour any kind of beat. Jesus. Deserve to have my name, guys, come on here. Right? He's kind of talking about, oh, you don't think I deserve to be the rap monster, like someone who's good at rapping? Look at the preview, the change of small fry idol. Haha, the pride of hip hop guys said it's impossible. But take a look, there's a period in it. I'm possible, now you're satisfied. Boy. Girl, what? They're spitting, they're angry. I don't remember this being so angry.
everything I do
Okay, Jin.
나를 갈아왔던 만큼 날 무시하던 많은 사람들 이젠 oh 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 we shout it out 나같이 해봤다면 돌을 던져 we go hard 우린 겁이 없어
And it's kind of what I'm also liking about it is like you can kind of see that they're boys. Like, you know, like they're trying to show off and they're trying to act too cool for school. But there is also this hint of not cringe, but like, you know, someone trying too hard to be too cool. And I think that they're kind of emulating that intentionally.
bang bang we just sing it like clack clack bang bang we just sing it like 나같이 해봤다면 돌을 던져 we go hard 우린 겁이 없어 clack clack bang bang we just sing it like clack clack bang bang we just sing it like 이리 내놔 긴장했다
I'm loving his deep voice.
We are bulletproof we are bulletproof what's up
Oh, cutie pie! There he is, the dancer.
bulletproof
Oh my god, Jungkook.
bulletproof
13 years ago. That's crazy. Oh my god. This is so wild to look back at. And I'm obviously, you can see that they had no budget, right? They're shooting on like, you know, black and white tiles. They're wearing sort of the same outfit. There's not that many resources or materials used for it. So they're all having to rely on the talent of themselves. And I'm going to be honest, right? Hip hop, not even just in K-pop in general, is not the genre that I usually gravitate toward. So I know that when it comes to BTS, the songs that I'm going to like more are some of the more vocal focused songs. So I don't think this one is going to end up being my favorite. But it is one of the songs that I can just appreciate for exactly what it is. This is essentially the first song. I don't think it's their debut song. I think No More Dreams is their debut song. But this is the first song on the album outside of the intro. And they're kind of showing up this story, right, of these two cool for school delinquent teenagers. And I think they do that. And I think to be rapping in K-pop, it's either extremely good or extremely bad. Let's be honest. And we'll see if BTS has some rapping where I'm like, y'all, I don't think this one has it. I think it's great. I think, and what I'm planning to do is actually create a playlist of the BTS songs that I like, so I can listen to them in anticipation of the album. And I am gonna add this song because you know what? It's a hit. It's a bop. RM's vocal in the pre-chorus is so good. Suga's rap verse is my favorite, I think, out of all of them. But I also just like from a nostalgic perspective, just like can't help but just feel giddy and like happy on the inside. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I can explain that, but that's like how I feel immediately of this song. The next track is this first skit, which is the circle room talk. And if I remember correctly, these are just like scenes that they perform as part of their albums.
뮤직비디오 그거 흰색 와이셔츠에 빨간 넥타이 내가 그 얼마 따라 했었는지 그래가지고 안 어울리지. 야 정수 따위 가자. 아니 가자. 아이고 정수 따위 그래요. 오늘
Because we're in school. Oh, we're skipping school.
그래가지고 레몬 그래가지고 에픽하게 좀 더 입어봐.
아니 그래가지고 그거 듣고 이제 딱 시작했다니까요 제가. 말 그대로 플라이.
Okay, we're skipping school too.
그거 듣고 랩 시작했지.
다 똑같아 진짜
진짜
똑같았어. 그러면은 뭐 우리는 플라이 들을 때 우리 호비는 뭐 했는데?
뭐가 졌나? 난 또 이제
Hope is J-Hope.
이제 또 남다르게
That was his name.
춤에 미쳐서 그렇지. 사고다 댄스. 뭐 지휘도 마찬가지일걸?
아니 당연하죠. 혹시 여기서 무용을 꿈꿔본 사람은 없나?
없어.
무용은 없어.
방금 정적 들었냐?
한 명도 없어.
방금 다들 고민했다고.
1초 정적.
태영이 너 꿈이 뭐였어?
저 3년간 색소폰 했었어요.
근데 왜 지금
The
안 해?
saxophone?
입이 아파서.
입이 아팠는데.
Girl.
되게 가식적이다.
저 입이 아팠거든요.
입이 많이 아팠나 보다.
엄청난 이유다.
마음이 아프다. 야.
아니 그 진영 우리 형은 꿈이 뭐였어요?
I like
나야
this.
뭐 그냥 우리 아빠처럼 7시에 출근하고 저녁 6시에 퇴근해서 딱 마누라랑
Okay,
밥
so
먹고.
like more traditional.
나도 그게 제일 좋다고
어떻게
생각해.
보면 이게 좋은 거 같긴 해. 이게 짱이지.
척이더라.
힙합이 다 뭔 소용이에요. 그게 짱이지.
그렇다고 힙합을 버려요 왜요?
시원하게 버렸구만. 시원하게 버렸어.
우리 아빠 욕하지 마.
버리고 그래?
우리 아빠 욕하지 마.
네네네.
정국아 너는 꿈이 뭐였냐?
그래 뭐.
저요? 저 기억 잘 안 나는데.
They get busted. I knew it.
들어가 들어가 없애보던 거 해야겠네.
알겠습니다.
Okay, this is actually better than I thought. And I'm not saying that I thought it was going to be bad. I just, I wondered the value of these, and I don't remember them too much. But like in essence, right, we skip class and we get to figure out a little bit about what their dreams are. And I feel like that kind of sets it up, right? Like they're not trying to be, the straight A kind of students. They're all more focused on either dancing, the saxophone. Like, I mean, Jin was talking about sort of a traditional work life. I don't think they were necessarily dreaming of the stars, but I liked it. Again, right? It's not something you're going to listen to every single day, but I think it does paint this picture of the album as this thematic project. And I'm wondering how the trilogy is going to play out, because right now we're in this world of, right, delinquism, I don't know how to say that word, like delinquent students, right, who are not really, being the best. So how are we going to continue that story down the 3 projects? The next song is No More Dream, the debut song of BTS. And tell me there is also no English translation for this one. Let's see if it's a little better. They have Faroese, but not English. Oh, there is English. Oh my god. Okay, so we're teasing we're Bulletproof because this technically came out before. BTS on the bus.
What's up? This is Backhead exclusive. And the coolest kid in the world. BTS. Rap monster.
Oh, we're introducing us! Oh my god. I do remember this one. No, guys, I have to pull up the lyrics again because these videos do not have the lyrics. But Suga, what were you saying? The beginning, right? What is your dream? And then Suga goes in to talk about his dreams. He want a big house, big cars, big rings, but actually I don't have any big dreams. And then he goes on to say, haha, I live so comfortably, even I don't have any dream, no one says anything. I'm gonna be honest for a second, y'all. I didn't have dreams growing up either. You know why? Because, and this is gonna sound weird, but coming from a household where university, even high school, was like not even seen as a thing, dreaming bigger, it was just like never a thought. Like I would go to school and I would be like, yeah, I mean, sure, like I want money, but I don't know how to get it. Sure, I want big houses, but like I don't know how to. And you know, there's these people who are like, I'm gonna go to high school and then I'm gonna go to this college and then I'm gonna get, like, I didn't have any of that just because in my reality, I'm from the farmlands of rural country. I'm not from the US, but that was just the reality of it. So, and I know Suga comes from hard environments growing up. I don't know the actual facts of it, so I don't want to go into more details of it, but that, can I hear that again? I kind of want to hear that again. It kind of sounds like they're saying money. I love the way he says, ha! Oh, okay, Jungkook. What were we saying? Everyone thinks the same as I am. The completely forgotten childhood that was filled with so many dreams. Don't worry about university. I'll go somewhere even if it's far away. Okay, so it's kind of the juxtaposition of what Suga was talking about. And something that I am like hoping and yearning for with the new album is this, right? Like struggle. And obviously they're not going to talk about the same struggle, but what I remember from BTS over the years is that they've always touched on very deeper topics in their music, right? Like loving yourself, resilience, being bulletproof, defying society, sort of those themes. I am so scared that that won't come through with the new album just because so much has changed. And people do change, right? When you get money, when you get comfortable. One of my favorite artists is NF, and he just released a song where he's talking about he kind of wants to be hated for a little bit because he's so comfortable that he kind of forgot the motivation behind the drive that he used to have. And I'm so scared that the same thing's gonna happen. I'm not manifesting it, but like this yearnful, this like sultry that comes from both of them, RM and Suga, is so... Ugh. I didn't know Jungkook rapped in these songs. Okay, okay. So what are you saying? You're saying, why aren't you saying anything? I thought you said you didn't want to study. You're afraid of dropping out of school, aren't you? See, you're already getting ready for school. Grow up. You're just all talk. You have a glass mentality, boy. Stop. Ask yourself, have you ever tried hard? So he's kind of poking fun at people that want to be, you know, delinquent, bad at school, but like are really too scared to do it. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna skip school, but I'm really not because I'm too scared of the consequences. And he is kind of embracing the idea that, well, I am too cool for school. You're not too cool for school. And his attitude, he's like, oh. And he's like 15, right? So this was what I was saying earlier. This is the song. Yep. This one's oh my god, it's so adorable. So something, if you're watching my channel for the first time, something that happens to me when I'm really concentrating on a song, and this is a good thing, is I get a headache. Because I'm not wearing my glasses, and I have to like squint, and then it creates this headache in the front, and oh my god, this second verse was so, it was like drawing me in, even though I do not speak Korean, and I don't know what Sugar or J-Hope was saying. Oh! So Sugar is saying, okay, the boring same day, every day just repeats. Adults and parents cram us with dreams stuck in place. The number one dream job, a government employee. The dream wasn't forced, a relief pitcher in the bottom of the ninth. That like not pursuing your dream just because, you know, your parents or your school counselor or maybe like just the pressure from society is telling you to do it, but you should pursue it because you genuinely want to. That's like the kind of undertone getting here. J-Hope then says, throw a fastball towards self-study that is a waste of time. Disobey the hell of a society. Grant a special pardon to your dream. Ask yourself, what is your dream's profile? Become the subject of your own life. That's always been suppressed. So supposedly there is a little bit more context to this verse in the first line with throw a fastball towards self-study that is a waste of time. There seems to be a play on like night self-study school that was introduced in Korea back in the 90s. And school were essentially notorious for keeping students until the night and forcibly making them study. The regular class time was from 8 to 5 p.m. and then this night school until 10 p.m. after dinner. You couldn't leave until you had a valid excuse. So he is essentially saying that's a waste of time, right? And sort of go against what society and the schools want you to. This is a very, I don't want to say political, but it has a very strong societal message of like going against the norm and the convention of what you should be doing as a student. And I'm wondering if in the context of 2013 in Korea, and again, I don't know the history of Korea, but there's probably some loyalty built from that, from the fans who were just able to relate to these concepts. Jin, I want you to rap. Yes. Okay, Jimin. Okay. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah. Jimin, are you even an adult? Yes, delinquent teenagers do that. Okay, and the police sirens, right? Again, conformity, disobedience. Oh! Such a liar. Okay, Jimin, was that a high note we got? Oh, and was that Jimin and Jungkook? Okay, this one is my favorite so far. I know we're only 2 songs in, but this one, and I'm gonna organize the songs in my playlist in like a tier so we can, you know, go over where they fall. But we're caught. So at the end of No More Dream, we got caught, or we kind of got discovered. And it also, with the skid, it's really flow. This is the exact reason why I wanted to do this, by the way. Because I checked out these songs years ago, and I don't remember most of them just because life, this is 13 years ago. But I wanted to build more anticipation for the album, and this, now I'm already more excited. Like, now I'm like building up this giddiness, I'm just getting really excited. I will say one thing. I support all the 7 members. If you don't, because guys, when I react to certain groups, there are people that get mad at me because I support all of them. Which, y'all, that's crazy. Why do we not support the 7 members? BTS has literally talked about, for the last 13 years, we're a family, we're staying together. We participate in the military together so we could, you know, like, they sacrificed so much to stay together. I'm not gonna hate on any of them. Like, I'm an OT7, is that what you call it? So if you're not, this is probably not the right space, because we're just gonna enjoy BTS as a group and individually. I don't know if you guys knew, we can do both. We can appreciate all of them artistically, individually, and come together and support them as a group and as subunits. That's the beauty of life. And I don't even know why I thought about this. I just wanted to get that off my chest. So there is an interlude. It's less than a minute. So let's see. Oh, do not. Don't sing, because then I'm gonna get mad that this is less than a minute. Okay. I'm gonna get so mad because I want him to sing here. Like, I want RM to come in. So it looked like someone opened a book. They were writing and maybe playing some tunes, trying to produce something, and then at the end they crumbled it up because they maybe thought it wasn't worth it. That's what I'm getting out of this interlude. But damn, I kind of wanted them to sing. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted them to push. So the next song is like, I don't know if I know this one. It doesn't sound familiar, and these pictures are definitely more updated. Oh, this is gonna be my favorite. Okay, we're a little jealous. Oh! Okay. Namjoon RM, why are we with someone who who has 30 other people at the same time. Oh, and the oh bullshit! I thought it was the other B word. I was like, girl, this. Obviously, I don't speak Korean, but you can hear how he flows off in the back and forth. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh.
이제 내 것도 아닌데 왜 뺏기는 것 같은지 넌 나 없이 참 잘 사네 눈꼴 시려우니까 노는 것 좀 살살해 목까지 올라온 저 줄에 삼키고 오늘도 좋아요 누르지
Girl, you're weak. Pretty woman. I remember this song. Oh my god, it takes me back. Oh my god. Oh my god, this song is so good. Oh. Oh, pretty woman. And I'm sorry, Jen, that I sang over you. I know I have a horrible voice, so we'll give Jen another chance. Okay, Jimin, I wanted more. Are we making excuses, Suga? Why do I feel like he's gonna be someone that's not gonna admit, like she's gonna be like, why did you like my friend? He's gonna be like, it was my friend. Yeah, I would never do that. But he would. That's the kind of... Yeah, like you hear it. Okay, I have to stop it because I have so many thoughts, and I want you guys to keep in mind that what my interpretation of these songs, it doesn't have to be the truth. This is just like what I'm picking up and what I am like making up in my mind of what it's about. But in my head, Suga, and I'm like creating this world of this album, like he is the delinquent guy who acts really tough, but is like really not insecure, but like is actually a really decent guy. He's right. He's like, I didn't like your photo, but you know, my friend did, but you know, I did see you look good, but then also, who is this new guy of yours? And like, and I have to keep going because like this, right? Like almost like this needy boy, right? Like, do you think of me? Do you? Do you? Not because I don't think about you, but do you think about me? Like that, you know, like that switch is like the character that I am seeing. Yeah, I'm right. That is, I'm quite sure my image of him is right. Like he's talking about, like he is tormented about not knowing about whether this girl who has a new boyfriend seemingly has moved on. He's like, I moved on too, but you know, have you moved on? You know, and I see your new boy, but like, do you still think of me? Do you still, like, he's needy, desperate. So far. This is my favorite so far, y'all. So far, though, I want Jimin to sing a little bit too, and B. Is J-Hope gonna come in? Yeah.
어떻게 지내고 있나 궁금해 보니 좋아요가 뱉나 나 없이 잘 사는 네가 왜 생각났지 찾아온 건 한심한 나도 누르고 갈게 네그 위에 난 요즘 너 없이 이렇게
It was so short. It was so short. I kind of wanted it to be longer. That does happen. This is my favorite so far. I know we've only listened to 3 songs, but this is my favorite. It's going to the top of that playlist of mine. I love this, and I don't want people to take it the wrong way. Jungkook's voice was amazing. I loved it. And I've spoken about this before when you have more than 4 members. I often, when I see a song like this, I'm like, it sounds so good, but why are some members not singing? And I recognize that not every song needs to have, right? This was very structured. It was RM singing the first verse, Suga singing the second verse, J-Hope singing the third verse, and Jungkook really singing the chorus, and then Jin singing more parts, Jimin singing that one line, and I don't think V sang anything. Maybe he sang a few as well. And that's totally fine. I wanted to hear all of them just because it's the first project, right? And I'm thinking, like, if I'm back in 2013, I would want to hear all of them. But y'all, this song is so good. The storytelling is, you know, so we're kind of building a new image, right, of these delinquent boys. They're not talking about pursuing their dreams. They're talking about pursuing love or women in this case, which I think is interesting, and I'm wondering whether the next songs that we're going to listen to is going to follow that, or if we're going to go back to this more like career trajectory or like conformity that we spoke about in the first few songs. But this one's my favorite. This one, mwah. So we have the outro, the circle room Cypher, and I believe this is a scene again, or maybe it's a song. It's a song, maybe. I'm so happy I don't listen to this when I'm in school. I'd be so sad. Okay. And they all produced and wrote this, right? I think so, yeah. Yes, Sugar, please play it. I won't judge. Well, we'll judge, but I'm sure it's fine. I don't know what a cypher is. Guys, I don't speak English. I don't know what a cypher is. I'm gonna look it up because I can admit when I'm stupid. A cypher refers to a circle of artists, especially rappers or dancers, who take turns performing spontaneously for each other, sharing verses or moves in a freestyle collaborative session. So am I to assume that this is freestyle, not prepared? Okay. Okay. Okay.
내 이름은 SUGA 다른 래퍼들은 전부 내 뒤에 오늘도 새끈한 이 비트 위에 이리 갔다 저리 갔다 혓바닥을 놀려 너희 랩은 다 졸려 이 CD 다시 돌려 우리 음악들은 여성분을 울려 우리 이름은 방탄 지금 너네 입에서 나오는 건 감탄?
It's like, I know this is like an awful comparison, but it reminds me of that Pitch Perfect a cappella duo battle.
I'm a boy munchie, I'm a boy 차가 근데 내 목소리는 서탄 너는 1탄
Okay.
나는 4탄 나는 너를 치유하는 이 같아 네 랩은 돼지 나는 찰록 너는 리본 돼지 나는 발로 참 팔로 꼰대 롤렉스 The Always 나한테 어울리는 단어네 근데 너한테 어울리는 건 좀생이 아니면 폼페이 그냥 폭발했지 상대를 좀 가려 아 근데 나 지금 오줌 마려
Oh, okay. That's crazy. Jungkook? Okay.
오늘도 갇혀내 프리스타일 래핑 이 장단 맞춰 명품 랩쭉 세팅 탑 MC 답게 MCM의 구찌 알렉산더 맥큐 뭐 됐지 랩 처음 할 때 지금은 달라 비트에 걸음만해 난 여름 만에 타파 모두 차파 정국 날봐
J-Hope.
농구 할게요
Okay.
그래 형들 랩들 잘 들었어 남준이 형 가사 이제는 철들었어 형들 이제 랩 실력이 고만해 칭찬이야 이제는 그만해 내 앞에 호비 형 긴장하고 있어
We're different the others.
긴장하고 있어 대구 사투리 살아있네 윤기 형 살아있네
Yuki Shuka. Oh, I want them to ditch each other.
이건 우리 음악 중에 스킬 여기서 보여줄게 내 한 칼 스킬 내 이름 J-Hope 멋있어서 흔적이 남지 like Kpop 야댐 광주가 난 힙합 이거 전라도 랩의 첫 시작 모두 털어줄게 거덜나게 우린 멋져 불어 허벌나게
Jesus Christ.
내 이름은 너 잘생 근데 내 별명 찐따 최근 들었다가 빠졌지 그래서 이제 내 별명은 그래서 내 예명
Bro. That, honestly, that would be me. Under pressure, I can't rhyme, I can't think about it. I get like back to first grade. I don't know any words.
내 이름은 지빈 여기 보컬 팀들 내 랩의 지림 태어난 이름대로
오케이.
냄새나는 비림 내가 누군지 좀 알아봐 미리 미안해요 안 할게요 이미
I don't think you should rap.
소리 알아 이미
That's it?
야, 사이프도 끝나는데 밥 어때 밥? 밥으로 갈까? 밥만 없어.
야, 수다가 랍스타 쏜대 가자.
내가 시원하게 쏘게.
I've never had
나
lobster.
나나콩 안 먹어. 나 나나콩 먹어.
버려 거부터 나.
아니, 수고해 남주가.
감사합니다. 진짜 죄송하다.
갈게요.
가.
So this is the end of technically the end of the album. We're still going to react to the other Skit and Path, which are like unreleased songs as part of the physical version. But this is an interesting way to wrap up the first part of the trilogy project. And we are going to check the other two projects out, but it feels like they're really setting up this. And I don't know the time it took between each of the releases, but I am wondering how we're going to change like sonically. But let's check out the other two songs, which I'm quite sure I've never heard before, because I just found out about these two today. So this is the On the Start Line skit. It's a piano? Hold up.
연습생. 어찌 보면 나 자체이지만 뭐라고 형용할 수 없는 그런 말. 어딘가에 속하지도 않고 그렇다고 무엇을 하고 있지도 않은 그런 시기, 과도기. 내가 그 연습생 신분으로 살면서 가장 곤욕스러웠던 건 친척들과 친구들의 언제 나올 거냐고, 데뷔 언제 할 거냐고 하는 그런 그 질문들이었다.
I can imagine.
나는 답을 할 수가 없었다. 뭐냐면 나도 모르니까. 나도
And-
그 답을 알 수 없으니까.
This is RM, and this song was written entirely by RM. So he's giving us his thoughts about being a trainee.
자신감과 나에 대한 확신을 갖고 이곳에 왔지만 나를 기다리던 건 정말 다른 현실. 아직도 3년이 지난 지금도 내가 나가면 가요계를 정복해버리겠다, 할 수 있을 것 같다, 이런 확신을 찾다가도
You did.
막상 PD님들과 선생님들께 혼나고 나면 내가 정말 아무것도 아닌 것 같은, 정말 먼지밖에
I am once again overwhelmed by the realization that I am nothing, that I am as inconsequential as a speck of
안
dust.
되는 것 같은 그런 기분. 꼭 마치 내 앞에 푸르른 바다가 있다가도 뒤를 돌아보면 황량한 사막이 날 기다리는 것 같은 그 기분. 정말 그 모래시계 같은 기분에서, 그 기분 속에서 나는 내 연습생 3년을 보냈다. 그리고 나는 지금 데뷔를 앞두고 있다.
Oh,
내가 데뷔를
imagine.
하더라도 아마 다른 바다와 다른 사막이 나를 기다리고 있을 것이다. 그치만 조금도 두렵지 않다. 분명 지금 나를 만든 건 지금 내가 본 바다와 그 사막이니까 절대 잊지 않을 것이다. 내가 봤던 그 바다와 그 사막을. 나는 연습생이니까.
I love this. And this was written by RM before he debuted. And to not know what the future had in store and the journey that they've been on for like, it's kind of making me a little emotional. I'm so happy I listened to this. This was very raw. It was very vulnerable, very introspective, very reflective. Very different than any other songs that it almost feels like a school diary in the context of the album. And now I'm a little nervous about Path because is it gonna be emotional too? Okay, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be emotional. But I do wonder why it was not on the album. Like,
작은 M&M 가비온 에픽하 따라하는 걸 넘어 내 랩을 적고 색이다 보니까 벌써 어느새 내가 홍대 그때 내가 싼 온통 다 건데 But we don't know the future 쉼없이 꿈꾸던 날 묶어버린 현실의 덜 그 정신의 덜 뜨거운 가슴은 차가운 머리에 져버렸어 그렇게 내 선택이 옳다며 맹신하던 그 와중에 천산지 양만지 모를 그것이 말을 해 Rap 제대로 해볼 생각 없냐고 Yes or no 망설일 시간은 없다고 더 바보는 되기 싫었던 난 이곳에 왔고 3년이 지나갔어 So
I'm gonna say this throughout this whole experience, but the three rappers in this group are some of my favorite rappers in K-pop. They just convey, at least in the beginning, we'll see if it continues out, but you can just feel the realness that they've really taken the rapping seriously and really feel inspired by the people before them, right? I, who didn't want to make an even bigger idiot out of myself, came to this place and 3 years have since passed, right? Like, he was talking about that in the previous one. Life is short. Isn't that a thing that they did? Was it a Japanese release that they did or something like that? Oh. He was also training for 3 years.
내 모습은 고등학생에서 어느새 커버린 어린이
아.
됐어. 욕심에 새치가 많아지고 그만 다 친구들은 하나둘씩 갈라지고 가족 없이 난 외롭게도 서울에서 만난 세 번째 봄 데뷔가 코앞이면 걱정이 없어질 줄 알았어. 다르실 게 없는 현재의 난 눈을 감았어.
Oh my god.
위에서 날 말려도 빛도 안 보이는 터널들을 나 홀로 걸어서 혼자인 줄 알았는데
Oh, Jungkook.
맨발이 아닌 방탄이란 신을 신고 앞으로 나가야.
Oh my god, y'all, that's so sweet. Oh my god. Suga might be my favorite on this project as a whole. Oh my god. And I can't even, like, because the rapping is going so fast, I have to, like, pay attention. I thought my worries will ease with the debut in front of my nose. I closed my eyes to the present that could not be altered. Reality was different, even when my peers tried to help me. I walked the lightless tunnels on my own, right? So he was kind of navigating this awfulness by himself without seeing what was happening. I thought I was alone, but I've learned that we're 7. And then he comes with that barefoot quote. No longer barefoot, wearing shoes called bangtan, right? So I'm no longer, it's not hurting because there's this protective layer in the tunnel. I'm not walking on the rocks anymore. I'm walking on a protective layer being BTS. That is so... Oh my god, thank you guys. Jimin! Do you guys think that they knew what would happen when the song came out, like where they would actually be? Because Hype would not exist without BTS. So much would not exist without BTS. Like it's kind of incredible how much they have been able to accomplish in the span of 13 years. And I don't think they're anywhere near done. But just like thinking back to, they probably wrote this in 2012, but it's so...
2010년의 해 내 걸음은 솔로 향하네 그저 춤이 좋아 시작했던 내가 이제 무대 위에 서네
I love how J-Hope kind of stretches out those vocals. It sounds really good.
새롭게 비춰봐 세상이란 백지의 방탄도 새겨봐 더 붉혀진 내 미래 열어가 웃음을 지어 어느 날
태연,
다른 길을 택했다면 멈췄어 뒤돌아봤다면 Oh hey yeah 난뭘 보게 될까
I kind of want a Jin Naoto. Oh, who is singing the vocals? Is that Jungkook? It was Jungkook. This is not on streaming. How am I gonna add this? This song, y'all, this I'd never heard this song before. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love this song. And I'm like taken back and just reminded of how great narrators these members are, especially the rappers on this project as a whole. I'm really happy I was able to look. And this is why I did that presentation in the beginning, because I did my homework. I found these 2 songs and they bring so much context. There's so much whataboutism about these 2 songs. And what I like is that the album as a whole exudes this confidence, right? With these delinquent teens. And then these 2 songs kind of show a more vulnerable side of them, of like, the hardship that they had to go through over the last 3+ years to get to where they are. And they're already exuding a lot of confidence. They're already exuding a lot of swagger. But they also exude this what if ism, this vulnerability, this maybe insecurity about, or not insecurity, but like pondering about what would have happened if we had not gone down this path of BTS, of being these 7 people together. And I kind of think this is a beautiful way to wrap up their debut single album. So that concludes my first reaction to a BTS album, the single album, Too Cool for School. And this just confirms what I wanted to do with these videos, and that is hype myself up, hopefully also hype you up, to the comeback of BTS. I am someone that I don't really care about success. I care about art and I care about music. And BTS has been a group that I have just admired for a really long time. I think their story is so inspirational. And I think it's kind of forgotten a little bit in recent years, especially when people talk about them, just because when you get to a certain success, the beginning of your story kind of gets blurred out by jealousy and, you know, haters. But this makes me really excited. I actually think I went from I increased my excitement of this album that's coming in a few weeks by like 500%. And I hope it increased yours. Feel free to use the comment sections to kindly correct anything that I said wrong, or share facts or context about this album, or even share if you were here around the time. I want to encourage and foster a kind community where we can exchange these things. If you did watch this and you're like, oh my god, he's wrong about everything, you know, maybe breathe a little bit, because I'm just here to have fun. I'm just here to build my own excitement. I absolutely am so excited to continue this, because I've said it before, right? Hip-hop is not necessarily like my favorite genre of music. I can respect it, and I do respect it, but I know that as we get to some of the later projects, there are some gem of a song. Euphoria, don't even speak to me about that song. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you literally maybe even tomorrow if I get a chance to record it. But thank you. Bye.